Today I'm making pumpernickel bread, and I'm making it low-fat vegan. So I'm going to start with a cup of warm water. I'm more on the hot side of warm. I don't know what the temperature is that it's supposed to be, but it's just experience maybe how hot it should be. So I put a cup of water, 1 cup of water. Now we'll put in a 1/3 cup of molasses. The recipe now calls for 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. Instead of cooking oil, I'm gonna smash a banana, a pretty ripe banana. Well, it's kind of spotty. I'm not really going to measure it. I'm just going to put in the whole banana. Smashed banana instead of oil. Bread flour. 2 2/3 cup of bread flour. I'm not putting in bread flour, I'm putting in organic whole wheat flour. My home ec teacher would not like me right now because I'm not doing it correctly, but that's how I do it. Using a knife and I'm guesstimating the 2/3 cup of flour. Next we'll put 1 1/3 cup of rye flour. I'm using Bob's Red Mill, and it's organic.
Why this brand?
Excuse me?
Why this brand?
Because that's what there is at the store. That's just how it is. We live in the middle of nowhere, and you take what you get unless you remember to get it when you're in the city, which we often don't. This one. And we'll say that's a 1/3. There's 1 tablespoon of caraway seed. I love caraway seed. I think it tastes very yummy. And it calls for 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And that's how come I don't do it over the bread pan. And finally, we have 1 1/2 teaspoons of yeast, which is why you put in warm water to activate the yeast. Warm water and the molasses, something sweet, to activate the yeast, so our bread will rise. And you don't have to use a bread machine, but that's how I do it. So I set the settings on white bread, on light crust, and the 2-pound loaf. So now we'll start it, and in 3 hours and 3 minutes we'll have bread. This is what the dough is supposed to look like when it's kneading. It's not too firm and it's not too moist. It's perfect, so I'm really happy with it. The bread is done cooking and it looks fabulous. And I'll shake it out on this. It's not going to shake out.
Do you want to just put it upside down, let gravity work it?
No, I don't want to pull it apart.
Is it a little sticky because no fat out of extracted oil?
It doesn't have any fat in there. And that's probably why it's... I took the paddle out before it rose the second time, so that the paddle wouldn't be holding it in there, so it doesn't have that big huge hole in the middle of the bread, just a little tiny one. So we'll let that cool for a few minutes, and take the sweet potatoes out, because that's what we're having with the bread. Carbs on top of carbs. Yum. Wow, that one exploded. Let's see. Yum. Okay. Yum. So this is our dinner. Pumpernickel bread and 2 big sweet potatoes. This is so yummy. Moist. Yummy. You gotta try this.